R. Kelly's attorney recently filed a motion asking the judge to either throw out the case against him, or to offer him a retrial, the detail of which is still not known to the public what the retrial constitutes, or what exact processes will be taking place during this attempt at finding justice for the RnB King. As we may all know by now, R. Kelly recently filed for acquittal, or at the minimum that a retrial be granted. The basis for demanding acquittal being the argument that insufficient evidence was provided by the prosecutors, and that this was not enough to secure the conviction that was given. But again, R. Kelly also filed an argument requesting a possible retrial just in case the acquittal is not given. This basing on the claim that his Sixth Amendment right to counsel was substantially violated when he received ineffective assistance to counsel during the jury selection, an important aspect of a complex trial like Kelly's. According to Kelly's attorney Jennifer Bonjean, R. Kelly's case deserved to have jurors who are committed to being fair and impartial enough to handle this important case. To achieve from this argument, Bonjean needs to prove beyond reasonable doubt that if it weren't for the errors made by Kelly's legal team, the result of the case would have been different in order to get a new trial. R. Kelly's new attorney goes ahead to state that one of Kelly's lawyers was double-dealing, by representing both Kelly and one of the prosecution witnesses during the trial both at the same time. According to Bonjean, while there are some waivable conflicts of interest in such a legal process, this was an unwaivable one and should be looked into. If the defense can prove this, it will mean that Kelly was a victim of prejudice, and this could earn him a brand new trial. Much as Bonjean's defense of why her client deserves a retrial sound legitimate, it is important to remember that a retrial is usually one of the last thing the court wants to give out. It is rarely granted because of the costs involved in bringing all the people involved together. The court usually wants to do this once and get done with it. It will therefore be a great achievement if R. Kelly's new vibrant attorney can successfully lobby for one and get it. And this will be a great opportunity for the RnB King to renegotiate for his freedom. Reason being that R. Kelly will be given another shot at beating his case, and the defense, having read through the entire case transcript, will be able to prepare and have all questions ready to fire at the prosecution in proving their case. The defense will also benefit the chance to have answers that will shut down the prosecutor's evidence which they are already familiar with. In other words, with a retrial, there will be no more surprises for the defense as was back in September 2021. If anything, it will be the defense surprising the prosecution. There is suspicion that by now, the prosecution must have their hearts racing like never before knowing what R. Kelly's new lawyer is capable of. Their prayer should be that the retrial is not granted because should she get it, chances are that she will salvage something off it, and this will surely be the prosecution's worst nightmare. Bonjean has a way of finding cracks in cases where they are least expected. Even when you think a case is sealed, she comes in and the conviction is overturned. An example is a recent win that saw her client Ray Munoz exonerated, after serving a 30-year sentence for a wrongful conviction due to abhorrent misconduct of Chicago Police Detective Halverson. Jennifer Bonjean is now renowned for returning freedom to those that have lost it. And this is slowly turning her into an incredible lawyer with a successful appellate career. She has been winning cases and ushering people back to freedom in the background for a long time. The first win that brought her to the limelight being the Bill Cosby case that saw him released back to freedom after 3 years of incarceration. If she goes ahead to win back R. Kelly's freedom, she will likely become the most celebrated attorney of all time. According to Tania, while many people are worried about what may transpire from the retrial if given, I on the other hand remain at ease, for even a blind can see clearly that R. Kelly was sidelined and made to receive a verdict that he did not deserve. Clearly there is substantial conflict of interest and this needs to be addressed. How on earth can a lawyer represent two people on either sides of a single case? I can't believe this is allowed to happen here in the US. This was completely unacceptable and should have been corrected way before the trial begun. The lawyer who attempted to do this should actually be questioned and his license to practice revoked. Just in case he has been doing this for multiple cases before. As stated, indeed, given a retrial, there will be no more surprises, and I believe Bonjean will be ready to counter any false claims raised against the RnB King. Any falsehoods that may have been introduced into this case will be duly dealt with, and R. Kelly shall regain his freedom. According to Shamika, there is no chance that the prosecution shall register any win against R. Kelly if a retrial is granted. They will have to prove all their evidence as substantial one by one. Given that most of it was questionable, and that one of the best lawyers is available to counter, I see the entire case turning around and R. Kelly regaining his freedom, or at least the possible sentence being reduced at the minimum. The birth of attorney Jennifer Bonjean is indeed a blessing to this world. She is God sent to this world to prove that there are indeed very many innocent souls rotting in American prisons, and that this is likely a result of loopholes in our justice system. Otherwise she would not be registering win after win. She has opened our eyes to analyzing the effects of police misconduct, and how it can mislead investigations, throwing them off track, and in the process, implicating the innocent as responsible for crimes they know nothing of. According to Jamarcus, an acquittal may be a little too much to ask for, but a retrial is undoubtedly deserving. R. Kelly's rights and freedoms have been violated throughout this case campaign, and something ought to be done about it. Right from the time he was denied bail for 3 years like he was going to escape the face of the earth, and now all this we are hearing that transpired in the courtroom. Incompetent lawyers that could not provide the required legal counsel, insufficient evidence, and the unwaivable conflict of interest that was adamantly ignored. This was all unacceptable. R. Kelly should be granted a second opportunity to be done quick. Case closed. Thank you for watching LFN News, a production of LFN Media, giving you another view of issues at hand. To get notified whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. And remember to give us your comment on the subject matter below.